Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be setting up and resetting for the next month, which is the month of August. We are going to talk about how July went in my planner and how I'm going to set it up for the month of August. Okay, so let's talk about how I have used my planner for the month of July. I have 6 planners in here. However, I have steadily been using 5 of the 6, and these are the 5 that I have been using: my schedule planner, my to-do planner, my meetings, faith, and budget. I also have a daily planner in here, but I barely use this in the month of July. I think I only used it once, and really when I was using it, I was mainly showing it on social media, but it wasn't a part of my personal planning. It was really just to kind of show it and show how it could be used. So that one kind of doesn't count, but the other ones I have steadily been in, and I believe these are my core 5 because I absolutely need them. So the very first one is my schedule planner. This is my catch-all. So this one has been used throughout the month as the one that I will look at to see any and everything that's going on for the month. And this one has been very, very useful. And as you can see, I'm just kind of flipping through the pages. It's the exact same setup that I've always used. I always am so worried that my videos are going to get super boring because I do the same thing every single month, but I am hoping that you all still can glean from them or just enjoy them as you are setting up your new month, even though it's pretty much the same thing every single month for me. So on the front here, I do have my goals. I was checking them off as I go. And so for this month, I'm gonna bring you in a little bit so that you can see. Under my schedule section, we had a couple of things that we had to schedule. Now, I did not get a chance to do my dentist appointment, mainly because I had to go out of town at the last minute. It was a last minute trip that we went on, so I ended up having to reschedule that appointment. However, we did book a vet appointment for Dasher. I also did declutter my bedroom, my husband's birthday. We did some things for that, and I need to still schedule my spa appointment. So dentist appointment and spa appointment is going to roll over into the month of August. For my faith section, I did do clarity. That was my goal for this upcoming month, and we did a lot of faith planning in this section. So I am going to check that off as done. For my to-do section, I have a bunch of meetings that I needed to complete for church. This actually ended up being in my meetings planner instead of my to-do planner. My to-do planner I mainly am using for work now. So we are going to check off that everything has been scheduled. Some things have been moved over, but we're going to check that off. And then I also have my social, which is currently my to-do planner right now. I have not been able to read the way that I want to. I really want to pick back up with my reading. And so we're gonna make that a priority in the month of August. So some of these things I have completed, some of them I did not. I did really good with my budget this month. I used a lot of my sinking funds, which was the goal for this month because of our birthdays. So I was able to still save, still pay down debt, and do all of the things that I needed to do with our money. So I am going to pull out the month of July, and we are going to pull over the planner. This is the 12-month version of this planner, and I am going to pop in July and take out the month of August. And I was gonna set this up with this sticker book, but I actually think I'm gonna hold off and save this for my next video. So we pulled out my life planner. I'm gonna put this one off to the side. The next section I have in here is my daily section, and I believe I'm going to pull this section out. So my daily planner lives in my home notebook. My home notebook is divided into multiple sections. I did do a video on this one, so I will link it above. But like I said, I did not use this planner at all in this month. So I'm going to pull out the pages that I have in here and add it back into my home notebook, because I could always use it here if I need it. And lately I just have not been needing it. I have been using my weekly planner just much more often, and it has really been working for me. So I have been planning more on the go, which means that my home notebook really has just been living at home. I haven't really needed it as much. Now I know whenever I do a project or I am super focused in on my home, then I will pull out my home notebook. Right now, everything is kind of on routine. I have really been focused in on my business and church. So my main planner is the one that I've been needing the most, and just doing my daily home routines. But I will pull over my home notebook whenever I'm ready to do some type of organizing or home planning. For now, I'm going to pull it out and put it back into my home notebook. The second section that I have in here is my to-do section. Now, this planner, I kind of switched mid-month. At the beginning of the month, I had planned on using this planner for church things and just writing down all of my church items. However, mid-month, I did decide to move my church things back over to my meetings planner, because I really was keeping to-do lists and all of my meeting notes from church in my meetings planner. And so this planner has really been social media and work to-dos. So that means I really didn't do my overview page since it was mid-month. I just kind of kept a schedule here, but I will definitely set it up this upcoming month. And my YouTube schedule was on my monthly calendar, and then we have my to-do planner. My to-do planner is usually all over the place. This one is much more of a brain dump. It's not as organized. I will write all over the page. And because I moved into this one mid-month, it really was not as structured as it normally is. So we are going to pull out this month, and this is the 12-month version of this planner. And so we're going to pop in the pages, pull out the new month, and pop in. This one will be my work, church, and home to-dos. I like to keep track of my YouTube schedule on the calendar page, but on my weekly pages, I will keep track of my meal plans. I will also keep track of what I plan on filming for YouTube that week. I will also keep track of any church to-dos that I have. So this is to-dos across the board. No matter what the topic is, it's just whatever I need for the month. So that's how I plan on using that one again for the month of August. Now the next one I am not really going to flip through, because I use this one for a lot of my meetings, and my meetings have a lot of sensitive information. It could be organized money meetings or church meetings, but I will write numbers in here. I will write details of different things that I am doing with clients. And so I don't want to flip through this one. Let me see if I could find a page. Oh, I could share this. It basically looks like this. I will add the date at the top, the day of the week. I will add the title. This was our youth meeting. And then I will write down the details of that meeting, any to-dos that I have, the overview of everything that we discussed and what happened. I will write it here. So this is for all of my meetings throughout the month. I will keep track of the meetings that I have coming up on my monthly calendar here, and then I will write down all of the details. This is super helpful. This is one of my favorite planners now, because I used to always write down notes, write down ideas, write down different things that I needed to do, but I would keep it in my brainstorming notebook, or I would keep it in another random notebook, and I would always lose the notes, always lose the notes. So I'm like flipping back and forth through the pages, and I found it to be very, very difficult for me to organize and stay on top of the notes, especially if I had to backtrack and look at notes from a previous month. And now that I am doing this system where I have all of my notes in my monthly calendar, all I need to know is when the meeting was. If I know when the meeting was, like I know that this one was July 19th, I can easily go back to my monthly planner and flip through and see the notes from that particular meeting. So this is easily becoming one of my favorite planners, because it really helps me to stay on top of everything. So we are going to pull out the month of July, and we're going to add in the month of August. I'm going to keep some extra sheets in here. I had some sheets toward the back. I'm going to keep those in here just in case I need them because sometimes we have more meetings than I have sheets, so I'm just going to add some extra journal paper behind that. And we are going to move to the next one, which is my faith planner. So my faith planner, I did pretty good. I wish I would have had a little bit more time to do more, but I did travel a lot this month. So this month was my husband's birthday and my birthday, and we really will celebrate the entire month. We will do different forms of celebrations. Like I will go out with my friends, he will go out with his friends, we'll go out together. We also do something with our girls. So it's just a very busy month because it's our birthday month. So I didn't get the chance to do as much in this planner as I wanted to. However, I did do my Bible study on clarity. We did do some verse of the days on my monthly spread, and I did do some Bible studies within my weekly spreads. So this one was on Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, and this one was on clarity. This one was on the Holy Spirit, Matthew 13, 24 through 30, and it's called A Fresh Wind because this was one of our Bible studies. This is a continuation of that Bible study. This was the next Bible study that we did, and then that is it for my weekly spreads. I didn't do any of my SOAP scripture studies, but I did do some sermon studies. So this was a sermon study. This one was on Colossians 3, 12 through 17, which this was another Bible study. And then we had this past Sunday. It was pretty good, but I do feel like my personal study was very lacking because my personal study is where I will use these sheets more often, and I will use these for corporate study, like when we have church and I'm doing sermon studies and Bible study, but not my personal study, which will go here. That's okay. We will do better next month. And I'm going to pull out the sheets from my faith planner. This one. And the last planner that I have in here is my budget planner. My budget planner, the first couple of sheets are my trackers, so we are going to leave those in here because I always update them at the end of the month. All of my savings jars, and then after that I do have my debt tracker. We're going to update that as well. But after that is where my monthly planner starts. This is another one that I wasn't in as much as I usually am because of my birthday, but I really stayed on top of the monthly calendar. This is where I would check off different things as they were kind of clearing my account, making sure I was paying everything and that everything was good. But my paycheck budgets, I did not do as well. So I did the first 2 weeks and I didn't do much after that. That's where it starts to get blank. And I didn't use my expense tracker at all this month. And this was mainly because I was using a lot of cash. So a lot of my tracking was in my cash envelope and not on my expense tracker because I wasn't using my credit card because I was traveling so much. And when I am moving around a lot, I try my best to spend cash because I realize that I do much better with staying on top of my money when I am spending cash. When I am swiping my card, many times I will forget because I'm not tracking it and I will throw off my entire budget. So this month we are going to go back into my regular system of using my card and using my cash for certain things. I will do better with my tracking in the month of August. The other thing that really does help as well is the kids going back to school. Now that the kids are going back to school, everything will kind of get back on routine. The months of June and July are extremely hard when I am trying to stay organized just because everything is so incredibly different. I don't have the same routines. We don't have the same habits. The kids aren't going to school and everything is just all off. But now that we're getting into the month of August, we will be getting back into our routines. And now that we'll be getting back into our routines, it will be much easier for me to stay on top of the multiple areas that I have within my planner. And so that is set up. The last section I have in here is my other section. And I just keep a bunch of my future things, my goal sheets, my routines, my yearly planner in here. But this one I don't take out at all. I just keep it all year. I only take out the month when I am setting up the brand new month in my planner. But we are good to go. So we have all of the sections in, and my planner is all set up for the month of August. So I hope that this video has helped you, and I hope it's your reminder to set up your planner for the month of August, and I will see you all in my next one. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.